Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. You're looking at the Pz.Sfl 4B. It's a tier 4 German SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Mainz, and this one is under the command of Appa561 of OLIMP. And we haven't seen him for a while, but he's been playing the lower tiers. Game on. Well, this Arty actually has another name. It's known as the Heuschrecke, which actually means grasshopper in German. It's actually it's got an interesting history because there was only 3 prototypes of this vehicle built, and they all use the same howitzer as you'll find in the Fifi, the 105 Left-H 18B2. So it's a 105mm light field howitzer doing 410 alpha. Rounds out. First shot narrowly misses the T28, but was very, very close to him. Now the reload's quite fast as well. 26mm pen, it doesn't have as much pen as the Fifi, but it's still accurate. And that shell landed a little way behind, 1.91 meters on the burst radius. Standard reload is 14.86, but you can see here the Appa's got it down to 13.91. Now, what's so special about it? Well, that was a very good shot. A Pz.Sfl goes down. Well, what's special is they only made 3 of this particular version, but they did actually make 10 of a slightly different version earlier in the war. It was made by Krupp Gessen, and Krupp had already actually built 10 of a specific, a very similar design, using a modified Panzer IV chassis, a Panzer chassis, and they actually fitted the same howitzer on, but the engine was slightly weaker. It was much weaker indeed. He just found the enemy opponent, his counterpart, rounds out, long flight time. Oh, he killed him with 1 shot. Excellent. So he's now got 2 kills. Another Pz.Sfl comes close. Well, what can I tell you about this version? Well, the version you're looking at here, which actually would be the Pz.Sfl 4B, should be known as Geschutzwagen 4, was it 100, no, ein, I'll have to pronounce it in English. The 105mm light field howitzer 18-1 L28 Waffenträger, and it's a long name, but in actual fact, nice shot on the Panzer B2. What they were actually doing was they were modifying the chassis of the vehicle, and they actually put a crane on the side of the vehicle to enable it to actually dismount the turret so it could use as a fixed emplacement if they needed. So it was very accurate when it's in a fixed emplacement, because of course then the vehicle didn't move about during firing, so you were getting accurate shots each time you fired. Rounds out. Another hit on the Matilda. They only made 3 of this particular variant actually, and only 1 survived the war. All of the other ones, the 10 that were actually manufactured before from 1941 to 1943, and that was a direct hit, blind hit. All of those 10 that were manufactured went to the Eastern Front, and none of them survived. So this is the only version, this version, that actually survived the war, and it was captured by the Americans, and they've restored it so it's in perfect working condition. And it can be seen, I believe, at Pz.Sfl, which of course is the home of the artillery in America, in the US Army. They actually ordered 200 of this type of vehicle, but as I say, only the 3 prototypes with this particular design were actually manufactured. Now, as I say, it's got the Geschutzwagen hull, which actually is a very similar hull to the one that was actually used for the Hummel. And in fact, actually, they did make a Hummel which actually had a 105mm gun. Of course, Wargaming haven't put that in the game, and they should, but they haven't. And it could be a premium vehicle for the German side. although there are other premium Arties that we would like to get, such as the Hetzer one. Hetzer with a 15 centimeter howitzer, that'd be even better. But you could put the Hummel version with the 105mm into the game as a premium and give it similar reload time to that of the Fifi, and that would make it OP. We want to make it OP in order to make sure that they sell plenty of them, because if they didn't have some factor, some unique factor, such as earning extra credits or having a faster fire rate, nobody would want to buy them. But the point is that this particular Arty is an interesting Arty, because it was basically, other than the ones they built for the Hummel, which was basically a converted Pz.Sfl, and of course the Vespa was a converted Pz.Sfl, and well, all the Arties that they actually did produce were based on tanks. This was the only Arty that was actually based on a specific hull that was made specifically for Arty. So it was a unique vehicle. And in fact, actually, in the end, the German generals didn't want them to go ahead and build it, because, of course, it would have detracted from actual manufacture of tanks. Good shot there. He waited until the guy was actually turned side on before he fired it in. Got a direct hit. Now, that was a T-28. They are fairly easy to pen. If he can get another round into that guy, he's going just for the rear of him. Oh, so close to the wall that it hit the wall. But if he gets another round on target, he might get that T-28. In fact, the guy's come right up against the edge because he wants to see where our guys are. We're one tank up on the enemy at the moment, but that's no guarantee that we'll win. And in fact, now we can see that Panzer III Ausführung J is coming to view on the gap there. Rounds out on him, and a direct hit. Good shot. So what were they going to do with this vehicle? Well, if they had actually mass manufactured them, instead of actually fitting the gun that they actually did get in the end, which was of course the same one as on the Fifi, the 18/1 L28. Instead of getting that one, it would have got the L43 instead, which would have been a much better gun, but it still would have been a light field howitzer, but it just would have been much more accurate. Okay, trying to get the Valentine AT, very weakly armed on the sides. If he can get the gun shield. Nope, somebody else did. The Hetzer got him instead. Of course, it's basically a Valentine hull, so it's strong all round, but if you can get the gun shield, you can actually take him out fairly easy at Valentine's. That was a direct hit through the gap. Wow, what a shot on the Valentine. He hit him through the gap. Couldn't see him, but he definitely hit him. He's lining up for the next shot. Rounds out. Kill shot. Beautiful. So that's 3 kills now for Appa. There's only 4 enemies left. 2 of those enemy tanks are up on top of the hill, as far as we can tell. The T-28 and the Panzer B2. Where are you? Somewhere up there. As far as we can tell. There's another T-28 there. We can take that guy out. Just let it settle. Takes a little while to dial in, but it's accurate and it's worth it once you do it. Yes, you get shots like that. Oh, and he went down. In fact, I think somebody was waiting until a shell hit that guy, reduced his hit points so they can jump in and snatch away the kill. There's a lot of kill stealers in World of Tanks. Some of them know full well that if they keep watching a tank long enough, eventually it'll die because somebody will snatch away the kill shot. But they know that if they hit something that's sitting there that's got a lot of hit points, wait till somebody hits it first, then you hit it. Rounds out. Could be a kill. Ooh, so close. And he's gone, and that's the last kill of the game. Well, that was an excellent result for Appa561 of OLIMP in the Pz.Sfl 4B. he managed to get a second-class tanker, and that's the first time he's had a second-class tanker in this little arty. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, he got 13, a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and he got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. His win rate was 6,444, which is super Unicum standard and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. The highest damage in the game was 1,311 hit points of damage. Second highest was the Cruiser Mark IV with 966, and the third highest, well, that went to the Kehoe with 862. It wasn't a full team on either side, actually. A reduced team because, of course, reduced numbers. When it came to kills, you can see he got the highest number of kills, 3, but he shared it with the Cruiser Mark IV. He also 2 kills to the Kehoe and also to the T28 on the enemy team. Only 3 players on the enemy team actually managed to get kills in that game, and they only got 4 kills between them. And when it came to base XP, he's just 1 experience point behind the Kehoe, who managed 626, and Appa got 625. And in third place, the Cruiser Mark IV and the Valentine II both got 621, and the Valentine got a Confederate in that one as well. He fired 21 rounds in the game. You can see it's actually not quite as fast to reload as the Fifi, because of course that's 8.92 by the book, but this thing is actually 14.86. So you are waiting another 6 seconds, or not quite 6, it's actually close to 5 seconds for the thing to reload. Is it 5? No, it is 6 seconds. Correct me. Yes, it is 6. So yes, it's a little while longer to wait, but of course during that time you can dial in, except it doesn't dial in quite as fast as the other RT do. 16 splashes, 1,311 hit points of damage, all of it more than 300 meters, damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 3, did 449 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he actually made a profit of 1,192 credits, but he did have to pay 20k for the consumables, premium consumables, which is advisable because it does reduce the reload time quite considerably. But of course, if you pay for that in advance, then you get better results. He also took away 937 experience points out of that one as well, after getting the boost, of course, it's being a premium account. But yes, the Pz.Sfl is actually quite a fun little arty. I've enjoyed it. In fact, sometimes you can go Rambo with this thing. Even though the turret won't turn the full way either side, it is actually quite capable of shotgunning enemy at close range. And you've got to remember, it's based on the Pz.Sfl hull, even if it is just a relatively small tier 4 vehicle, only 305 hit points of health. It can shotgun the enemy, and remember, it can do 410 hit points. So if you come up against a little tier 4 tank with one of these, it's like you're derping them for the entire value of their health with one shot. And you might actually be able to pen them because, of course, the armor on some of the light tanks at tier 4 and tier 3 are actually quite thin. So, yes, well worth playing. In fact, I've had some very meaty games where I've actually gone out and shotgunned the enemy at close range and won the battle. In fact, I seem to remember I even got a Raider Invader with one of these as well. So they are a lot of fun. Well worth getting. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.